Hey there, how's it going? Today I wanted to discuss a topic that has two opposing points of view, right? This is with regards to whether, when creating content for social media, you should be on multiple different social media platforms or just one, okay? Like whether you should just be focusing on one. And I'm going to give like the two opposing viewpoints that I've heard discussed from basically, I don't know if I should say experts or people who are way more advanced, right, than I am, and then I'll also share my opinion on what I think about that is the better approach, and I'm going to share it based on what my personal experience has been and why I feel the way I do. Okay. Now, those of you joining me for the first time, if you're new here, my name's Christian. Welcome to my channel. I am Christian M. Those of you who've been around, you'll know that, given that today is Sunday, one of the things that I do is referee soccer games part-time on the weekends, on Friday nights and all day Sunday. So if you see me here in this, my hat and all this bright yellow, it's because, that's my referee shirt, right? And I'm on my lunch break right now. I do this all the, like, basically Friday nights. This is my side hustle essentially. I do it on Friday nights. About 2 or 3 games. They're small-sided soccer games, by the way, so they're just 1 hour. And then I do it as well all day Sunday, starting sometimes at 10 a.m. or 11 a.m., going all the way to 7 p.m. with usually a 1 hour break in between. So that's like 8 games or 7 games or 8 games, depending on whether I start at 10 or 11 with an hour break in between. So I'm on my lunch break right now, and I figured, we always talk about consistency and all that type of stuff, and I figured I'd use my lunch break to shoot, create this video, which I've been creating videos every single day since the 1st of June. So 1st of December 2024, okay? On this YouTube channel, and based on that, I will give you why I will tell you why I feel, what my opinion is with regards to whether or not you should be creating content on multiple different social media platforms or focusing on just one. All right, so now let's start off with the two, the two different views and the pros and cons, or basically the pros and cons, or the reasons why you should be on a different, so basically I've heard I can call them experts or people who are way more advanced than I am, or who are doing extremely well, right? They know what you would like to think they know what they're talking about based on their, they say the proof is in the pudding, right? They actually have the results to back it, right? So there've been people. Let's start with those who suggest that that you should only be on one social media platform or two max, right? And I completely understand why someone would say that, right? Because if you're starting, you're new, chances are, let's say you have a full-time job, you don't have that much time, you only got so much time that you can put towards your online business, where you're creating content, right, to drive traffic primarily. That's why we do that. And if you're going to pick, the argument is that you should pick one platform that you feel comfortable with, right? So whether that's TikTok or Instagram or Facebook or YouTube, which tends to be, in my opinion, the hardest one, right? Because a lot of these social media platforms, they are they cater more to short form content. So a lot of the people who are way more advanced, they generally recommend, at least from what I've seen, that you start with one of the short form content platforms. Okay, so the likes of TikTok, Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook. Even though Facebook is a blend of the two, you can go long form and short form content, right? But they usually recommend that you go with one, and the one that it's Instagram, right? Instagram tends to be the go-to. For some people it's TikTok, right? But based on what I know about the two, like, I mean, Instagram is actually incredibly powerful. The more I learn about it, as I have been inside the course called Digital Wealth Academy, you can get access to that first link in the description below this video. The more I learn about it, the more powerful I see it is. And those, some of you already know, you've already seen my account. I haven't posted on it in a while, which I'm going to start doing. I've been saying I'm going to get back on it this year, right? But I'm actually based after having gone, I'm going through the content inside Digital Wealth Academy as we speak. So I'm gonna get back on it, even though I had started. It's been so long ago that because I've never really been a social media person like that per se, right? So the argument is that you should stick to one, learn one, focus on one, master that one, get the results that you need on one, and then once you have that going and you're comfortable with it, right, then you can gradually start to after a while, right, you can start maybe adding on some other ones after you've got the time, right? Okay. Well, I mean, not that your time's not going to change, right? Unless, let's say, you quit your job, for instance, and then all of a sudden you have more time. But basically, what they say is that you should stick to just the one, master the one platform. And we're talking about 3, 4, like even 6 months to a year, whatever the case may be, right, before you start looking to branch out. Okay, so that's one side of the coin. On the other side, I've also heard, quote unquote experts, or people who are way more advanced, suggest that even when you're starting out right from the get-go, that you should be all over the place. Well, I shouldn't. When you say all over the place, that sounds wrong. It automatically sounds like the wrong option, right? But no, the argument is there is that since a lot of these social media platforms are similar, you can essentially repurpose the same content that you create, right, for one platform and reuse it on all the different platforms. Okay. Right, and that it's not going to take that much more effort, right? It's not going to take that much more time because you've already created the videos. It's not like you're creating a separate batch of videos for Instagram and then another set of videos for TikTok and another. And here's the thing with all these platforms, especially those, you need to be posting on them every single day, right? We're doing organic traffic here, right? So those platforms, they really do tend to reward volume and consistency, right? The algorithm knows that you're like you're serious, so to speak, right? It's not like YouTube where you can starting out, you can just do even like 2 videos a week or 3 videos a week, and because videos tend to have a little more longevity, right? YouTube, in my opinion, is the hardest of all, the hardest platform of all to master and actually really get good at and get, because it's longer videos, right? Whereas with these other platforms, you're just doing 5 to 7 second videos. Now, so those are the two sides of the coin, right? Now, based on my experience, what I personally would, I'm more of in the camp, right? In my opinion, when starting out, that you should I guess primarily have one platform that is your main focus, right? That is your primary focus, but also be working secondarily and giving them a backseat on the other platforms as well. And this is why I say this, right? Because let's just say you spend a lot of time working on one platform, and I'm saying this from my experience. Like, let's just say, because in my case, I initially have been going strong more so on YouTube, right? If you start on one platform and you keep going and you keep going and you keep putting in the effort and nothing's really happening and all that type of stuff, that's you're just nothing. You're pretty much, you've been putting in a lot of, I don't know how to say it, you've been putting a lot of time into one place that is not really yielding the results that you would have hoped for. Whereas for a little bit of extra more time, you could have taken those videos, repurposed them, and put them on several different platforms. I remember back in the day, one of the people, someone like really advanced affiliate marketer, was talking about if you create content every single day for at least 3 to 6 months, right? And you're putting it on all these, on 3, 4, 5, on several different social media platforms, He was saying you would drive so much traffic and make so much money you won't even know what to do with. Those were his words, right? But that's basically what he was saying, right? And I tend to fall more in that camp. I tend to believe more in that camp. And like I said, from my personal experience, right, I've been focusing more so on just the one, and it hasn't necessarily been yielding the results that I would have hoped for, right, or that I would have maybe kind of thought I might have had, right. But then again, I did start, I have been going with the hardest platform, right, which is YouTube. So that's my thing, right? Like, and now as a result, I'm actually looking to start I'm looking to start this same channel, right? The same brand, I Am Christian M. I'm looking to put that now, start creating videos on at least 4 different social media. So I've got the YouTube one going. I'm looking to do it now on Instagram, like start reposting back on Instagram. I'm looking to take it off on TikTok. Facebook is the other one, and Pinterest, right? At the very minimum, those, did I say 4? Right, maybe 5 even, because I'm also on Threads. That's the other thing as well. I'm also on Threads, which is a little different. It's not necessarily creating videos. That's more text and all that type of stuff. So, but anyway, that's how I feel about it, and I'm gonna be, like I said, I've been this since the beginning of June. I've been starting going through Digital Wealth Academy, and taking the time to go through a lot of the videos and all that type stuff. So because I'm looking to start posting again on the various different social media platforms. So I have shared my various channels before, the I Am Christian M. So you can easily find them on the different platforms. You can, if you're interested in knowing exactly where they are, you just let me know in the comments and I'll link them down there below. But I've seen a lot of people I've been encouraged by a lot of, especially beginners, getting started on TikTok. And I know that those platforms are a little bit, like, especially TikTok, they're a little bit easier to start gaining some traction on. So I'll be looking to add those, and we'll take it from there. As you can see, I am sweating like crazy. It's hot out here. I'm out in the car, windows down and all that, and close to the parking lot. But anyway, if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, put them in the comment section below. I will be sure to respond. And if you want to get started with digital marketing with a well-rounded foundation, check out the first link, the only link probably I'm going to have in the description below this video, and you can see what the material that I'm going through, that I'm learning from at the moment to start using these other social media platforms. All right, thank you ever so much for taking the time to watch, and I'll catch you in my next video. Ciao.